Stop talking about comic books or I'll kill you. I don't care if the Hulk could defeat the Man of Steel.
Hey there, comic fam. Bullseye Bob here, and welcome to Everything Comics. And this is the 36th episode of Having Comics with My Coffee. This is the show where we get together with you in a local coffee shop, drink some great coffee, and talk about the comic books we picked up. And I'm talking about the books we picked up this last week on August 19th, Wednesday, August 19th. And here we are live in living color from the Refuge coffee shop. But as you can see, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I got my good buddy Sam here. Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Man, it has been a while since I've had you on the show, and I've been looking forward to getting you back. And man, here we are, live, living color.
Well, you saved one of the best dudes for last. I see, but that's okay. That's okay.
I run it in cycles. It's okay. It's going to be awesome though, because we got some great comics to review this week.
Yes.
And but Sam, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody how you've been, because we haven't had you on for a while.
I've been trying to stay busy. I'm trying to stay focused and trying to keep the comic book collection going. Trying to cheerlead Marvel when I can, But hey, they don't listen to me. That's okay.
That's okay. That's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we're in a great place. We got Portland, which is the central hub for coffee and comics. I mean, I don't think there's any greater city for coffee and comics, and so I think we're in good shape.
Yes.
Well, and so, like I said, again, from the Refuge Coffee House, which is at 9217 Southeast Foster Road, right here in Portland. It is one of the best coffee shops out here. If you're ever in town, let me know. We'll meet up here at the Refuge, get some coffee, talk about whatever you want, and it'll be a fun time. Anyway, thanks for tuning into the show, guys. Like I said, we got a lot of great comics to review. But before we do that, I have some announcements, to get into. And so, right now on the screen, you're going to see a timestamp. If you want to skip the announcements and just go straight to the reviews, you can do that, because I know that some people kind of don't like the reviews. That's okay. So, here's the first announcement, and one of the things that I mentioned last week that's happening going forward is the show from now on, Having Comics with My Coffee, will be dropping at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every Sunday. So that way it's consistent. I started, getting to the cycle of doing the show in the morning and trying to edit throughout the day, and then it would drop sometime on Saturday. And so Bueller had a great suggestion, which was just to go ahead and drop it at a particular time on Sunday morning. So 9 a.m. Sunday morning, Pacific Standard Time, Having Comics with My Coffee. Be there, be square. Okay, now to the next announcement. You know what I love. I love them battle drafts that we do. And we have another battle draft coming up, and it's going to happen on Friday, 9/11. That's right. On 9/11, folks, we are having the next Battle Draft 2020, and this one is the Battle of Hell's Kitchen. That's right. We have a scenario this time, folks, and here's what it is. The League of Assassins, that's right, from DC Comics. They've opened up a portal, and they've come to invade Earth 616. And where do they open this portal at? Right in the middle of Hell's Kitchen. So we are going to draft our best street-level Marvel team to combat this force that has just dropped into the Hell's Kitchen. It's going to be an awesome time. Wow. We're looking forward to it. So make sure you're there, 9/11, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll keep announcing it as we get closer, but I'm looking forward to this one, Sam. Yeah. And then one of the things that you don't want to miss is this next Thursday, August 27th. I don't have the time yet because it hasn't been announced, but the monthly comic book review is happening. This is where we get together with Dylan from Dylan's Comics. We have Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers, Bueller from Comics with Bueller. Last month we had Gem Mint on, which was pretty cool. But this is where we go over our favorite comics of the month, and that's always a good time. And so we're looking forward. This one will be on Robbie's channel on Pop Culture Philosophers. You don't want to miss it. Again, stay tuned for the time. I don't have it this morning, but I know that it'll be this Thursday, August 27th. And then last but not least, I'm on another show, Sam.
You are.
That's right. You're on another show too.
Yep.
But on the Comics of Bueller channel, we have the brand new Coffee and Comic show. And the first one just dropped this last week. Of course, it wasn't the very first episode, but it was the first episode with the new studio.
Yes.
And so it was pretty awesome. And that drops every Monday morning, 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You don't want to miss it. If you haven't tuned into that show before, we have a discussion that we have on in-depth subjects in the comic industry. And how you get involved in that discussion is every Wednesday, Bueller drops his preview video, which is the most watched preview video on YouTube. And on that video, he'll pose a question that we use for the actual show on Monday mornings. And we have people leave comments, and then we use your comments to drive the conversation. This week, we don't want to miss it, Sam.
Okay.
This week's conversation is about, is comic book speculation getting out of control? It's an awesome subject. We've seen all kinds of craziness happen every week over week now.
Yeah.
And so we're going to go at it. We're going to talk about whether or not we think speculation is out of control. What do you think, Sam?
I think it's totally out of control.
I think so, too.
I think so, yeah.
But I've already seen a lot of great comments. It's going to be an awesome conversation. That'll happen, again, Monday morning, 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. By the time this video drops, you'll still have some time if you want to go leave your own comment and get involved in the conversation. But check us out, folks. Okay, so that's in the announcements, folks. And as you know, before we get into our reviews, we always start with our cover of the week. And this week's cover of the week is sponsored by one of our partners, which is TKO Studios. Check this out real quick. Folks, thanks for tuning in this morning. I hope you're enjoying the comics that you're having with your coffee. I know that I am. Hey, I wanted to talk to you about something really quick. I like new comics. I know you like new comics. And over at TKO Studios right now, they're putting out a lot of great stuff. They're a partner of the show, and they've sent me some stuff to check out, and I've really been enjoying what I've seen so far. This book, Sarah, this is a very popular book. I know a lot of people know about it. It's in its third printing already. A couple of weeks ago, I had Damien, Sleepy Reader 666, on the show. He said it was the best war comic he's ever read, and I'd have to agree. I'm about halfway through it. I'll probably drop a full review on the channel about it because it's really good. But this is just one of the things that they have there. They also have stuff by Jeff Lemire. They have this book called, the series called Sentient. Now, the thing about TKO that's kind of unique is that when they come out with a story or they come out with a comic book, you don't have to wait month to month for it. They bring it all out at once and just drop it. So inside of this dust cover is all 6 issues of the series, and they put it out like this inside of one of these nice dust covers, or they'll put it out in the trade paperback. So you have a choice of whatever your flavor you like. But the stuff that they're putting out is really quality. It's really good. I will say that the actual size of the comic books are a little bit larger than your normal comic book format. That's okay. These look really nice on the bookshelf. But here's the thing, guys. If you go over to their website, there'll be a link down below in the description, and you see something that you like over there, enter the code Everything20 at checkout, and you'll get 20% off your first purchase. How can you beat that? New comics, 20% off, and like I said, they're putting out a lot of great stuff right now. They've sent me other stuff that I haven't read yet, like The Banks, and then this other series called The 7 Deadly Sins. I can't wait to get into this stuff. Anyway, guys, go check out TKO. They're a sponsor of the show, and you can get 20% off some comics. How can you beat that? And so now, without further ado, this week's cover of the week is Captain America number 22, covered by Alex Ross, and there it is in its full beauty, its full glory. And as soon as I saw this particular cover, I just absolutely loved it. It's one of the few covers where I've actually reached out to all the guys and said, this is my cover of the week. Because look at that. The blues that he uses in this particular cover is amazing. I love the horizon line where it kind of has the curvature of the earth on it. And in the background, of course, all of the explosions happening as Cap is in full action. And it's one of the best Alex Ross covers I've seen in the last couple months. Of course, he comes out with amazing covers all the time.
Yeah.
But there's my cover of the week in all its glory. Had to pick Cap, and it's just an awesome cover.
Okay.
Mr. Sam, what is your cover of the week?
My cover of the week is Valkyrie Number 10.
Valkyrie Number 10.
I know,
awesome.
I know. I'm coming out of left field with that one.
That's okay. It's okay.
But,
Tell us about it.
Well, hey, it's a great one. She's standing there on the Rainbow Bridge, and she's ready to do battle. And you can see like a shadows of something coming at her, and it's really awesome. It's the final issue of that, so they went out with a bang, I think.
Oh, that's awesome. That's right, they're canceling that title, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's too bad, but that's a great cover. I really dig that one. There it is in all its glory, folks. Hope you enjoyed the cover of the week. And so now on to our reviews. And so, Sam, you're up first. What is your first review this week?
My first review is this right here, Valkyrie number 10.
Nice.
And this is the final issue of this particular run. And
bring it towards the middle of us.
This is great. You've got Jason Aaron doing the writing, and Grombeck is doing the art. And this says there is a dark entity that is trying to take over Asgard, and Valkyrie is trying to stop it with the Asgardians before it gets into actual Asgard, and it's great. It's a wonderful end to this particular run.
Awesome.
So.
That's one that I haven't been on. I do have a lot of the covers, or not covers, but a lot of the issues.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it to get to the end here, and so I'll go back and read it. And I'm looking forward to that. I know you've been reading it. I know Damien, Sleepy Reader 666, he's been reading it as well. Yeah. And so I definitely am going to have my chance to finally go through and read it up. And I was waiting to collect them because I started collecting after the fact.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first book is Nightwing number 73. Of course, this one's by DC Comics. This is written by the great Dan Jurgens and art by Ryan Benjamin. So here we have another tie-in to the Joker War, and I'm going to say loosely a tie-in, like I've been saying. Really, when it comes down to it, yes, Joker's in it, Punchline is in it, but it really does not tie into the overall narrative of the Joker War, so I don't know why they keep calling it a Joker War tie-in. Anyway, even though it's not an actual tie-in, I enjoyed this issue very much. It picks up where it left off the last time, where we basically have the mentally compromised Dick Grayson, who thinks that Joker is the one who raised him from a boy, and Joker calls him Dickie Boy. And so we have Punchline, we have the Joker, and we have Dickie Boy, and they've put Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, inside of a ring. They basically had her on her back in the back of the last issue, and now she's in a ring, and Dickie Boy is the one who's going to go in and beat her up. And so we got some great action that ensues. We have Barbara Gordon, finally getting herself out of this mess. The action is absolutely great inside of this. I love the dialogue. And so once Barbara Gordon kind of gets herself out of it and she takes off, Dickie Boy feels like he's let the clown prince of crime, his dad, down. Wow. And he says, don't worry about it, son. I got a different plan for you where you can get 2 for 1. So we got a plan where he's going to go after both Jason Todd and Tim Drake, right? Wow. So we got all 3 Robins coming up against each other in a plot by the Joker. Again, this is not really tied into the Joker War. I know that Punchline is inside of this, and she's actually sent on a quest to go after the Pennyworth Hospital. Alfred, the hospital is named after Alfred. Okay. And so that kind of ties into the overall narrative. But as a standalone story on its own, I really enjoyed this issue. I really think it's worth picking up, whether or not you're into the Joker War or not. I think the concept of, Dick Grayson thinking that Joker is his dad, so far it's been a lot of fun. So I know, Sam, that you don't read much DC. I know you don't have much of it in your collection.
No.
But have you been reading any of the Joker War stuff?
I'm afraid not.
All right. That's okay.
I'm being honest.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
I know how you roll, Sam. There's nothing wrong with it.
I do have some Batman and Flash in my collection, but it's not much.
I hear you. All right, moving on. So, Sam, what's your next review?
My next review is Thor number 6. And this is the big one. I can't stress this enough. This is huge. This is the final part of this story, of this particular story. This is Thor as he's got this all power that Galactus gave him, and he's like he was helping Galactus and stuff, but then this is a whole situation where the Black Winter has come along, and then Galactus is like trying to put a stop to it, and then all kinds of craziness happens, and oh man, if you this blows my mind, because you got to get this one.
It's kind of hard not to like get to the end and give it away.
I don't want to give away this one particular panel in it.
Yeah.
So
Good stuff. I
good.
had a chance to read it as well. I think it was a great end to the arc.
Yes.
And this whole leading up to the Black Winter has been a lot of fun.
Yes.
And but definitely this has been one I'm looking forward to, and it's an awesome read.
Oh yes. Yes.
Good one. Well, there you go, man. That's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next book is Dead Day number 2, and this one by Aftershock. This one is I love the first issue. It came out last month. Have you had a chance to read this one, Sam?
I didn't. No.
This is a great concept. I think if I had to say anything about this book so far, it's the concept of it that really blows me away and I like the most. And so basically the premise of it is that at a certain point in time, all of a sudden the dead started to rise on one day a year. And it's not like the undead where you have the like zombies walking around.
Yeah.
This is just the dead coming back to life, getting up out of their graves and going to try to spend time with their loved ones.
Oh, wow.
Or trying to return to things that they did in life.
Wow.
And it becomes this day that the rest of the world knows is coming. And to watch the world's reaction to this thing that's become an event called Dead Day is pretty amazing. They have some people who actually created a religion around it. Some people are so afraid of it they lock themselves in the houses and wait till it's over with. Other people celebrate it like it's a holiday. And so it's really crazy in its concept, and I think that alone makes this book so intriguing.
Wow.
And so that's what we got to see in the first book, was a lot of the way the world reacts to this particular day. And then we got into a couple of different plot lines, and those plot lines have carried over into this book. One of which is there's a lady who basically leaves her family on Dead Day to go rendezvous with her ex-boyfriend who was murdered. And they're going to do of all things go and kill somebody. They're going to go after the guy who murdered him.
Oh wow!
And so that's kind of a cool plot. So we get more of that inside of this book. And then the other storyline that kind of plays through inside of this is there's a kid whose family normally hunkers down during Dead Day. He basically sneaks out of the house to go with his troublemaking friend to go explore what Dead Day is all about. And so we get both of those storylines inside of this book. Not much happens, but I got to tell you, the writer is Ryan Perot. I didn't even mention that. The book is written by Ryan Perot, and the art is by, I'm going to mess this up, Egenly Bornyakov. So I think that's what it is. I don't know how to say his name. Artwork was really good, so I have to give him thumbs up on that. But really, the dialogue inside of this book was really well done. Like I said, not much happens. We have more just plot building for these two storylines. So that was the one thing that disappointed me about the book. We don't get any more of that wonderful watching the world react to this event.
Yeah.
We get more of these two storylines, which are okay, but nothing happens. So it's all plot driven, it's all dialogue driven, and even in that, I still enjoyed the read. It was a good read. So if you haven't been reading Dead Day, it's definitely worth the pickup. I would say so far, the concept of it will keep you glued, to your seat while you're reading it. Cool. But I'm looking forward to see where the story goes from now, because the next one, if it doesn't pick up, I'm going to start to get a little suspect. But bottom line, if you're not reading Dead Day, it's worth a pickup. Check it out. So, doing these reviews, Sam, I hope you know that I pretty much didn't bring any Marvel, because I knew who would be bringing the Marvel to the table this week.
Yeah. You pretty much, if you know me very well, you know what I'm bringing.
Exactly. So, having said that, what's your next book, Sam?
My next book is Captain America 22.
Yes.
And this, this is by Ta-Nehisi Coates and Bob Quinn. And this is, I gotta say, the artwork is not all that great, but the storyline is okay. As you can see, though, Alex Ross cover is amazing. So I'm trying to get into it, but it's a hard read. It's a hard read, I have to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know, I'll say the same thing when I saw the cover, because I haven't been reading Cap lately.
Yeah.
And when I saw the cover, I'm like, maybe this would be a good time to hop back on Cap, you know? And I tried, Sam.
I know.
I tried.
I know.
The artwork on the inside of the book, what's going on there, man?
It's questionable.
It's questionable, to say the least.
Yeah.
And then because of the fact that I haven't been reading it, I just couldn't get into the story, and I think the artwork put me off even more. So it made it difficult to slog. So I didn't even finish the book. So
okay.
Sorry to say that, but I do love that cover.
Yes.
And I do like when Cap is on, but when he's off, he is so off.
So off. Yes.
That's awesome stuff. Well, I won't say great review, but at least we give our viewers informed, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so for my next book, I have Once and Future number 10. This one by Boom Studios, and this one's written by Kieran Gillen, artwork by Dan Mora, and the colors by Tamara Bonneville. And you know, anytime I mention the colors, it's because they stood out. They were amazing in this book. Now, one of the things before I get into this review, every time I read Once and Future, I find myself completely admiring the artwork as I'm going along. I just absolutely love it. The combination between Dan Mora's line work and Tamara Bonneville's colors, so incredible. I mean, if you put that team on doing a calculus textbook, I'd be reading it, because it's just so amazing to look at and see how it unfolds. Such good stuff. And then, of course, Kieran Gillen's writing, you know, you can't beat that. I love Kieran Gillen. And so one of the things I will say is that Tamara Bonneville, I'll agree with Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers, she is hands down the best colorist out there. I mean, I don't think anybody can beat the colors that come out of this book, or anything else that she does, actually. And I mentioned Robbie because, you know, Robbie, he pretty much does the best reviews out there. That's a mainstay for me now. Tuesday nights, his comic book reviews drops. If you haven't been over to Pop Culture Philosophers, go over and check him out. His reviews drop every Tuesday night, and he's just amazing. He'll drop it, and he doesn't do any edits like I do, right? He'll just start, and it's just straight through, man. He'll go through like 30, 40 books.
He's got an amazing brain to hold all that information.
Absolutely.
And do a wonderful review
without doing hardly any spoilers at all.
Yes.
And that's a feat. And so anyway, check out Robbie. He's a homie, and definitely a friend of the show, and definitely love some PCP around here. Okay, so this issue actually breaks the mold of the last couple of issues. Last month I kind of mentioned that one of the things that kind of concerned me was that a formula started to happen, which is a big baddie shows up. By the end of the book, that big baddie has been taken out, and then the next book is the next big baddie. And so I was kind of concerned that this pattern was evolving, and this book breaks the mold, which I was very happy about. This issue centers around Duncan basically understanding that his grandma, Bridget, is in danger, and he's trying to get to her. And of course, Bridget is in danger because who of all things shows up but Grendel? We had Beowulf last issue, but now Grendel shows up. And I got to tell you, the interpretation of Grendel by Dan Mora was really well done. I loved the action scenes inside of this book. Bridget, I mean, she puts herself out there, hands down, as the baddest granny on the planet. I mean, she is a total badass in this, and I just love every time she's on the scene. But we really get this kind of suspense with Grendel coming on the scene. Her trying to fight him off, Duncan trying to get back to her. Will he get back to her in time? We don't know, because it kind of ends there. And so we have to find in the next issue. But I'm okay with that because I've been on this ride since the beginning. It is a great read. The artwork is incredible, and this is one you definitely don't want to miss because that Grendel is amazing. All right, Sam, here we go, man. We're starting to round the corner here. What is your next review?
Okay, what we got here is Avengers number 35.
Yes.
And this is the third part to the Age of Khonshu.
Yeah.
And this is by Jason Aaron. And this is the cover has nothing to doesn't really happen in the book.
Right.
But it's basically you've got Khonshu and his followers are slowly taking over, but there are pockets of resistance throughout the Marvel Universe, and Iron Man and Captain Marvel and Iron Man. He has the Starbrand baby strapped to his chest, and they're trying to put a stop to all this craziness happening. And at the end, we get Black Panther showing up, and he's really going to take the fight to Moon Knight and Khonshu.
Yeah,
so it's picking up. So I hope that it ends well. So
absolutely. You know, I've been reading this one. I'm still kind of on the fence about whether or not it's like a what if, like Elseworlds type story.
Exactly.
Because it doesn't feel like it's tied into anything else in the Marvel Universe.
Yes.
And because of the fact that we have Moon Knight and, you know, Khonshu kind of taking over everything, it kind of feels like out there. Yeah. But, you know, this is my hopping on back point with Avengers. I've really been enjoying some of the artwork. Yeah. And, you know, this story with Moon Knight, especially that first issue where they're going and taking over everything.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah, crazy. Wow, yeah.
And so I'm kind of excited to see how it plays out. I loved Black Panther showing up at the end of the book. That was good stuff. Good one. Still good one there, Sam.
Yep.
So on to our next review, and the next one that I have for you is Batman number 79 by DC Comics. This one written by the great James Tynion IV, art by Jorge Jimenez, and colors by Tomu Mori. And so first off, I just want to ask, is it possible that Jorge Jimenez, his artwork has gotten better? I don't know, but reading this issue, I felt like he stepped up his game. I just loved the artwork inside of this book. The panel work was something that was just, it's something to brag about. It's amazing. Wow. Had a lot of fun checking that out. And then, of course, this Tomu Mori, I don't really know that name very well, but the colors inside of this book are absolutely amazing. Wow. And so I love this issue. There are like 3 different environments inside of this book, and the color palettes that this, I don't know if it's a male or a female, it's kind of a weird name, Tomu Mori. But anyway, the color palettes that they use inside of these environments, so well done.
Wow.
So, but, you know, the thing that blows me away about this is that this is the 11th issue since Tynion has taken over the Batman run, and I think I have loved every issue. It's been a wild ride going through the whole designer storyline and then getting into the Joker war. I think Tynion is killing it right now, and Batman is definitely, I don't think I've ever had a run, not for a very long time, maybe since Hush, where I've loved every issue, you know, in the arc, and so loving this Joker war, loving this Joker war stuff. As I mentioned before, I know I mentioned it last week on the show, but right now is a great time to be into comics, isn't it, Sam?
It sure is.
Oh my gosh, loving what they're putting out. And this run has been one of those things. And so we pick up where we left off in the last issue, where Batman basically is at the theater where his parents were killed. Joker set him up to be there. And inside the theater are all these animated corpses of people that the Joker has killed over the years, waiting there for Batman. And of course, since Batman has been affected by the punchline toxin, he's having trouble understanding what's reality and what's not. And so he gets Alfred trying to come and talk to him while he's fighting off all these creatures. Wow. And just that alone is an amazing part of the book. Action is great. And then you have the Joker's clowns systematically being murdered by this new character called the Clown Hunter. which is pretty cool storyline. Joker's going to send a bunch of heavy hitters to go crucify him on the street, basically is what he's doing. And so what we have is Batman finally gets himself out of the situation, and he's helped by, of all people, Harley Quinn.
Wow.
And at the end of this book, we get the Joker saying, it's finally time we take out my old flame.
Okay.
So we got Punchline, and Joker is not going to go after Harley Quinn. I'm excited to see that. But at the end of this book, we have a little something that happens, last page. I'm excited to see it because it looks like we're going to get a conversation, whether it's imagined or not, between Batman and his old mentor, Alfred. And so I'm really excited about this. The Joker War has been amazing so far. I'm loving the main storyline. I've loved all the loose tie-ins, so far. But if you haven't been on this, you're missing out because it's a pretty dang fun read. Man, a lot of great books this week, huh, Sam?
Yeah, it was.
Come on, man. So now we got the pick of the week. Woo!
Okay.
All right, Sam, what's your pick of the week this week?
It was a tough choice. It came down to what was filling me with my Marvel goodness. And I had to go with the Maestro #1.
Yeah.
And of course, I went the Joe Bennett cover, and you've got Peter David doing the writing, and Dale Keown doing the art. And I mean, if you picked up Future Imperfect with that whole introducing the Maestro and all that, then you'll want to pick this up because this is going to tell the story of how the Hulk became the Maestro. And this is a fun read. A fun beginning, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I had a chance to read it. I thought it was a solid issue.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun kind of going back and finding out how he became the Maestro.
Yeah.
The only thing about this book that bothered me, I'll tell you this right now, is I love Dale Keown's artwork. I mean, his stuff on the Hulk before was just incredible.
Yes.
It's incredible inside of this book. The panel work is amazing, and you can tell the Keown stuff is there.
Yeah.
But because of the modern day digitized way they do the artwork, some of that great line work that I know Keown does was muddled by some of the digitization that they use for how they did the colors, I think.
Yeah.
And so it kind of muddles it in a certain way,
and
it doesn't pop like it normally would.
Yeah.
And so that was the only thing that bothered me because I love Dale Keown's artwork so much.
Yes.
And so I don't know if that is one of those things that you noticed in there or not.
I did notice.
And so I think that's the only thing I could say that would be a ding on it. But it is a great first read.
It is.
And I'm excited to see where they go next with
Definitely.
this. I know that the Immortal Hulk is ending soon, and it's going to go to the Immortal She-Hulk or whatever, but I would be happy to see some of this stuff going forward. So, good one, Sam.
Yeah.
Great pick of the week.
Oh, thank you.
So now we get to my pick of the week, and my pick of the week is Wonder Woman Dead Earth #4.
Okay.
This one by the DC Black Label. And this one is written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson. And man, what an incredible read. I have been loving this title since the beginning. The very first one, Bueller and I actually reviewed together. And but every issue since has been absolutely incredible. And this ending to the whole story arc was epic. It was sweeping. It was bombastic and in your face. Great action. Great emotion. It really puts you on the edge of your seat. The way Daniel Warren Johnson draws the action is so incredible.
Okay.
Now, I've said it since the beginning of this book, I'm not crazy about the aesthetics of the art. I think some of those things are inconsistent. I don't like his interpretation of the way Wonder Woman looks. But having said that, the way he conveys emotion, the nuance of his panel work, the way things come off the page at you, the way he does action, so incredibly well done. And so this is the culmination of the whole thing. Last issue we found out that it was actually Diana herself that caused the apocalypse. She killed Superman. And we find out a little more inside of this that it was actually Batman who placed her, in stasis, to be woken up at a later time. And of course, at the beginning of the book, she had amnesia, so we'd be kind of unfolding how we got to this place. But Batman basically knew that she was the one that caused the whole thing, but he also had the foresight to have enough trust in her that she would be the one who would set things right. And so some of her power has been taken out of her. It's been put in this device, so that's why she's kind of been weakened to this whole thing. But now we see this power. We see that she understands what her transgression was that caused this whole thing. And we actually have her getting her power back for the final battle to fight up against her mother and the rest of the Themyscirans. And we get this epic battle that was incredible. I just love this. It was heartfelt. It was absolutely amazing. And the last page of the book does leave it open so we can maybe go forward with the story. I really hope that we do. I really hope that we get that, because I've loved the story from the very beginning. And again, if you want to see a great way, a great story arc where they land the plane perfectly, I think this has been landed perfectly.
Land the invisible plane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, this was a huge surprise. If you would have told me in the very beginning when I first saw this book solicited that it would become one of my favorite books of 2020, I would have told you you're crazy, you're high, you're smoking something. But this is one of my favorite books of this year, and the end result, the final issue, was very well done, and so I'm very happy about it. So, thank you very much, Mr. Warren Johnson.
Now, is this the last Black Label book?
I think, I've been hearing rumors. I think that is the case for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to completely go away. I know that they have canceled a bunch of DC titles.
Yeah.
But with the success of Black Label, I can't see it completely going away. I know it replaced Vertigo. I think it's been an amazing ride so far. I think maybe we might see the end of the magazine format books.
Okay.
I think that makes more sense. But I can't see them completely doing away with Black Label. We'll see what happens, though. Yeah. We're going to find out this weekend, right? The DC Fandom is here.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And so we'll be finding out, I'm sure, all kinds of their plans going forward. So, but there it is. There are reviews. We got there, Sam. We made it.
We did it.
And so once we're done with the reviews, the next portion of the show is our panel of the week. Okay. And I'm excited about this week. I don't know about you, Sam.
Sure.
But I love great artwork. I love great panels. And so what is your panel of the week?
I really wasn't sure if I should pick this panel. I think you know where I'm going here.
Come on.
Come on. Thor number 6 has the panel that 2020, the panel. I'm going to go ahead. It's only August. I'm going to go ahead and say it's the panel of the year.
Ooh, man, that's a bold statement.
And it's should I describe?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I don't want to.
Okay, spoilers.
Yeah,
Just
spoilers.
if you don't want to have Thor 6 spoiled for you, then turn it off here and come back. But now you've been warned. Go ahead, Sam.
Okay, it's a amazing, big old panel of. You've got Thanos is leading a group of looks like zombified Marvel heroes, and Thanos is welding Mjolnir, and it has the Infinity Gems on the hammer. And I'm like, what? I was blown away. So,
yeah, absolutely. As soon as I saw that page, I was like, what?
Yeah.
So now having said that, where do you think this is going, Sam?
Oh my goodness. It's Donny Cates. It could go anywhere at this point. I mean, he's seems to be kind of merging and tying in things from his other things that he's done, and I'm just blown away, and I cannot wait to see where this is all leading to. So
absolutely, I'm on board. I can't wait to see what he does with it.
Yeah.
That's a great panel of the week.
Yeah.
And that's way to have the cojones to bring that one out, man.
Okay. Yeah.
That's awesome stuff. All right, folks, my panel of the week comes from Batman number 97. And I'm going to set this up just a little bit. So inside the book, we see that Batman is still affected by the punchline toxin. And so he's hallucinating. So all these creatures keep coming at him. He keeps seeing Alfred. And he realizes that it's all just in his head, that he's not seeing what he's actually seeing. So we have this scene where Batman basically pulls out and blindfolds himself. And you know me, I love anything about a blind warrior. And so Batman blindfolding himself, I'm like, here we got street level DC Comics with a blind warrior. And we get this beautiful page where you see Batman with the blindfold on. And in the foreground are all it looks like photos being dropped from below, and they're all in different stages as they're dropping. And on each of the photos, it's what it looks like, they're actually panels, are action scenes of him taking out the clowns while he's blindfolded.
Oh, wow.
And I just absolutely love the presentation of this particular panel, the way it plays out, besides the fact that I got a full-on Batman blind warrior going on. But the way this panel was presented, it was just absolutely gorgeous, amazing. I think it kind of breaks the mold for some things.
Wow.
And I really, really loved it. So there it is in all its glory. Hope you enjoyed our panels of the week, folks. And I know we did.
Yes, definitely.
So there you have it, folks. That's the show for today. We made it, Sam.
Yes.
We're finally here at the end. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the reviews, the covers, and the panels this week. It was great having you on today, Sam.
Man, anytime. I mean, I'm always there for my buddies, and I'm glad that I got to be on your show again.
Absolutely. So, Sam, of course, his channel is Sam's Tangled Web. Sam, why don't you tell us what's going on with your channel?
I'm starting to try and get into a pattern of putting out at least a video a week, and so I'm going to be starting to actually try and do some reviews of like some of the current stuff, and you might occasionally see me doing reviews of some trades I have in my collection. So
nice. Looking forward to that, Sam.
Yeah.
Of course, if you guys haven't been over to his channel, it's Sam's Tangled Web. Head on over there. Give him a subscribe. We want to support this brother. He puts out a lot of great content. He says he's going to be putting out a video a week. I know he's off to a great start this week.
And we got the BS show still out there.
Absolutely. You're on Bueller's channel on the BS show.
Yep.
I think you put out, 3 videos in the last 2 days so far?
Oh, yeah. So, it's a record for me. It's a record.
There we go. But I always enjoy doing reviews with you, hanging out with you, Sam.
Yeah.
I can always sit there and talk comics with you.
Definitely.
And so one of the mainstays of the Portland Comics crew, Mr. Sam from Sam's Tangled Web. Thank you for being on the show today, man.
Oh, yeah. No
awesome
problem.
stuff. Well, there you have it, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, remember the monthly comic review is happening this month, and of course, Monday morning is the brand new Coffee and Comics show with Bueller. You don't want to miss that. But again, thank you guys for supporting the channel. Really appreciate you. This all wouldn't happen without you, and I just love doing this week over week. And but we're going to end it here. And as you know, I always say the same thing every time: support your local comic shop. And Excelsior, folks. Take care.